I want to talk about Project Veritas. Here is the
Yeah.
a solid article.
F's in the
James,
chat.
yeah, F's in chat for Project Veritas. They have been nuked off of Twitter. James O'Keefe, Project Veritas accounts locked by Twitter. Twitter's locked them up following a report pertaining to Guy Rosen, Facebook's VP of Integrity. The social media platform claims that the Project Veritas report violated the platform's policy on posting private information. As a result, both the official Project Veritas account and James O'Keefe personal account have been locked, preventing them from sharing content. Now, Project Veritas account has been completely suspended. I still see James O'Keefe's account as far as when I checked earlier. I don't know if it's still there or not. But Breaking 911 actually tweeted out. Let me see if I got it right here. Yeah, here it is. So here is them. The Facebook VP of Integrity doesn't look too happy to see us because they showed up and straight up bombarded him and asked him questions. Like that's what they're
Real
that's what they're
journalism.
talking. Real journalism. That's how they used to do it. We need to ask you these hard questions, like answer for the things that we have caught you doing. And they're like, oh my gosh, put their head down and get out of there. But it's ridiculous. Let's see. In the report, Project Veritas exposed Guy Rosen's statement regarding Facebook's system that allows them to freeze commenting on what the algorithm deems may be hate speech or violence. In the leaked audio, Rosen said, "We have a system that is able to freeze commenting on threads in cases where our systems are detecting that there may be a thread that has hate speech or violence. These are all things we've built over the past 3-4 years as part of our investments into the integrity space, our efforts to protect the election." It's ridiculous. And now they actually just came out saying that if they find hate speech in private messages, you can get banned. I think that's on Instagram, but Instagram's owned by Facebook. So what's the difference? I mean, it's only a matter of time before it's Facebook too. They're reading your private messages. You can't even have a private message on that platform. It's kind of ridiculous.
Exactly. And if anything, that should show everyone that we are, one, being surveilled, and two, have no freedom of speech anymore. We can't even have private messages and talk about our own thoughts, let alone post about them. And again, too, what Project Veritas does is give raw video of what's actually going on, what people are actually saying. It's uncensored, it's the reality, and it's the truth, and it's real journalism.
Yep.
And CNN, MSNBC, all of these mainstream media companies, which are failing, which have been having tanking views since Joe Biden got into office, they can't compete with it. So what do? They destroy it. Not only can they not compete with it, but they're also being exposed by this platform for their own propaganda, for their own lies. Politicians have been exposed. People who have been involved in voter irregularity and voter fraud have been exposed. So as with everything in conservative media, once we're getting the truth out, once we get popular, and once they realize that we're willing to show people what's actually going on, it has to be destroyed immediately.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they blew up I think it was a church that let thousands of people register that place as their address so they could vote. It's like they rallied all these people, all these different, like they put every single thing that I say I'm going to clarify, the Democrats, they pulled all of the stops across the entire spectrum of every little thing that they can do to, I'm just going to use their term there, fortify the election, which in parentheses is rig the election. I mean, they pulled out all the stops, and Project Veritas was calling them out. They were blowing it up. Project Veritas did more work calling out and shining a light on all of the discrepancies in this election than anyone else. You can't deny that. It's the truth. Like, they blew it up, and they came with receipts every single time.
And look what happened with Gateway Pundit as well. I mean, Jim Hoff just got suspended from Twitter as well. And Cassandra Fairbanks got suspended for a couple of days because they were coming forward with video showing how, I believe the video was people like bringing in boxes of ballots in the middle of the night. It was voter fraud. They were
paid for that too. Yeah. They paid a lot of money just to get a clip of this. I don't know if you remember, but they brought in these late night suitcases filled with ballots, and they went and they paid for the security camera footage of these ballots being brought in after 8 p.m. on election night, which is when no more ballots can be allowed. It's illegal to count anything after that point. They brought in all those suitcases of ballots. Like I saw it with my own eyes. And how is that not fraud? How is that not, uh, you know, dabbling with the election? You rigging it. They're making sure Trump didn't win, guaranteed. They came out and admitted it. It was fortification. That's what they were doing. They were defeating fascism. They were literal anti-fascists. That's what they have you convinced. It's. I didn't even know that Cassandra got suspended for a while. I know
Yes,
she's rather spicy, but
she got suspended for a couple of days for that reporting. And again, too, that is the main and common theme that we're going to see over the next 4 years. And I mean,
Yep.
Biden's been in office for barely a little bit over 3 weeks now. We've already seen so many people suspended. Conservatives can't even be in normal life anymore. Like I said, in terms of Mike Lindell, like his business is being destroyed right now.
Yep.
Conservatives are being accosted at airports. Like, hi, yeah, you were at Trump's rally on January 6th. You were nowhere near the Capitol, but you attended the rally. We're going to interrogate you now. And we're going to use facial recognition to do that.
Gets worse. Check this out. This is from Amuse. Renting Airbnbs, hotels, or apartments is about to get a lot more difficult for conservatives. Data companies are starting to sell extremist scores to help companies avoid doing business with Trump supporters. This is the beginning.
Welcome to China.
This is exactly what Gina was talking about. She got canceled for calling out the truth, for popping a bubble, going, hey, this is what they did because I know history. If you look at history, you can see when things are getting bad. You can see when things are going down. This is literally what she was warning people about, and she got canned for it because this is happening.
That is exactly what fascists and dictators actually do. When they are being exposed for what they are truly doing to their people, they silence you. They silence the truth. You get disappeared. That is what happened in China. Let's remember, at the beginning of COVID, doctors, scientists, reporters were coming out and trying to expose this. They got disappeared. Look what happens. Look at what is happening to Gina right now. They're not disappearing her per se, but they're just destroying her entire career and making sure that she can never pay her bills again.
And vilifying her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not on the right side.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, if she was a Democrat, she would still be on the show. She would have her own spin-off show. They were going to give her own show. She was going to have her own complete show, which would have been dope because she's such a cool character on that show. But man, they messed up big time.
And that's what a lot of conservatives need to come forward and realize too, is if you gain the whole world, but you sell your soul, what was the point of it? And that's what a lot of people need to make the decision about now is if you are willing to stay on social media, then at that point, you're willing to sell your soul because you're not really speaking truth at that point. Like I said, Adam, that's why I, again, commend you for coming forward and even saying the phrase voter fraud, because a lot of people will not do that on social media anymore. And so, we appreciate your voice. All the people in the chat, we appreciate the fact that you're willing to come forward and say this, because a lot of people are so afraid of being silenced and are willing to sell, again, essentially their soul to stay a part of society and the world.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I do feel like YouTube has, people tell me all the time, I've got your bell clicked. I'm subscribed. They never tell me anytime you go live. No. People have to go and find me because they know I go live at 6:30 Monday through Friday Eastern time. So, and they still show up for me, and thank you all for that. And I appreciate that. I'm not gonna stop. They'll boot me off eventually, and when that day comes, I'll start writing a lot more music. I got my own website. I got my own coffee company. That good luck trying to cancel my companies. I'm the CEO. I'm not going to fire myself. Good luck. It's
so when someone sends you, or when someone sends the CEO of your company your tweets, you'll be like, "Hi, me, psych, you can't cancel me."
Hey, I tweeted that out. Oh, good. Triggering people. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's like, bring it on. Like, whatever. If you see, this is the thing. YouTube doesn't define me. I am currently a YouTuber. But if I wasn't a YouTuber, I would be doing something different. I would be working towards it. I would be working hard to make it successful. This isn't easy to do this. I work hard to understand the things that I'm going to talk about and dig into them.